Hi everyone, this is th10 and welcome back to the War Table. This is where we talk about Clash of Clan wars and building your clan stronger, one raid at a time. So, wanted to bring you a video about attacking Town Hall 10s. Now, we've covered attacking Infernos, we've covered how to funnel, and this was a base that I actually attacked. It's an interesting base and I had quite a few thoughts. This is probably going to be a long video, so let's get right into some of the finer points. And what I want to try to convey is I want you guys to understand how to look at a base and determine what army you need and how you need to attack that base in order to get 2 stars. You know, I could just show you a video and say, oh, this is me 2-starring, or this is a clanmate 2-starring, but unless you're attacking that same base, it's really not going to help you in the long run. So, as always, the first thing I like to do is to understand the circumference of the clan castle, the heroes, and on Town Hall 10, I like to understand the circumference of the Infernos. That's very important. Now, on Town Hall 10, there's a couple things that defenders usually try and do. See this elixir storage? This elixir storage, and the same on the other side. The idea of putting those next to those defenses is to put a high hit point unit in the way so that your golems will sort of walk past that and it takes your wizards time to shoot it down. Now, this base has a really heavy bottom here. It's almost like a southern teaser style base towards the bottom. You can see we have those 4 cannons, we have the X-bows, and we have the archer towers. Now, one of the next things I always do is I always go around the base and I look for free buildings. So you can see that this archer tower is covering all of those elixir pumps. So there's no free building there. This archer tower is covering that drill. Same thing for the other side. And it looks like we're close to having that camp free, but remember, if you're deploying a minion or an archer at a camp, you actually have to get that unit to the center of the camp, not the outline of the camp. The unit will attack here. I made that mistake in war a couple times, cost me a percentage. Now, when you're attacking a Town Hall 10, especially if you do not have max heroes, you really have 2 main concerns. One is getting the Town Hall down, and the other one is getting 50%. Now, I'm not ready to start 3-starring Town Hall 10s at my level. It's going to take me a little bit longer. I'm still practicing. I'm doing well at Town Hall 10. I feel good, but I have a ways to go before I'm at that level. And I'm certainly not ready to 3-star a Town Hall 10 with max defenses. I'm nowhere near that level. So I was concerned about getting 50% on this base. And I thought about bringing 1 balloon from the top, or 2 balloons from the top, and destroying that archer tower. Now, if I destroy that archer tower, it leaves this building, this building, this building, this building, and this building all free. So I thought I could bring 5 or 6 minions and I could clean all of that. But then I focused in and I realized that there were spaces behind the archer tower. And if those were air mines, the balloon would drop, I would lose the 5 spaces, and I wouldn't be able to take out the archer tower. Then I thought, well, 1 balloon is probably not enough because of the distance between the archer tower and where I have to release the balloon. I may need 2 balloons. And then I thought, well, I could deploy a giant over by this elixir pump to take fire from the archer tower and the cannon, and then deploy 2 balloons. But I realized that if that compartment by the archer tower was full of air mines, that I would have lost the balloon, I would have lost the troop space, and I also would have made those minions for nothing. So you really need to investigate the base, consider your options, and do a cost-value assessment of what you're willing to risk in order to pick up those extra percentage. Now, I thought about deploying a giant in this area and sending in some hogs, but I did not like the pathing because they go to the archer tower and then they hit the space and then they go to the cannon. You also have the X-bows, these archer towers, and the cannons all firing on the hogs. So I decided to abandon that idea. And I started looking at the potential of freezing this air defense, freezing the wizard tower, and freezing the inferno, and the air sweeper. Now, if I dropped a freeze right there, and I sent 4 or 5 balloons with haste over the mortar and the archer tower, if I timed it right, I could probably take out 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 defenses. Now, what I started to worry about there is that there was a potential for air mines in front of the archer tower. There's a potential for air mines next to the wizard tower. And you also have the archer queen there. And if she jumps out of the way, I may not be able to freeze her and she could take out the balloons. So I always try to break the base down into different compartments and see how I can be successful in each compartment. And I realized that what I wanted to do is I wanted to use an earthquake around the wizard tower and the air sweeper. That was going to get me access to the town hall. Once I had access to the town hall, I have a level, pretty good sized queen above level 30, level 25 king. I felt confident if I could get some golems in there and maybe even some giants that I could at least get the town hall. And so then what I wanted to do is I wanted to focus on this section down here. And I realized that the only thing covering this elixir pump was the X-bow. So if I send a couple golems in this area, I draw the cannons, I draw the X-bow, and not quite the archer tower, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings here that I can take out. Now, I can also deploy wizards behind those golems as they move through these cannons. Now, I want to look at what I was thinking when I deployed the golems to the center. You always want to think about golem pathing, and you always want to understand how the golems and or any tank unit is going to move so that you can plan your attack. Now, I looked at getting into the base a couple ways. I thought about putting the earthquake here and then using a jump spell. But I was worried about the golems going from mortar to archer tower to air defense to archer tower again. So in order for your golems to go from this section to this section, they basically need to not have anything that will disrupt that path. So we want to clear a line from this wall to this wall. We want to break that line of defenses because we do not want our golems to stray down towards the bottom here. So my plan was to deploy several golems in this area, followed by some wizards, and then start picking up these buildings at the bottom that we talked about around this area. After these golems have engaged these defenses, and I'm feeling confident, the next thing I want to do is I want to start the attack here. And I can use my wizards to clear out this section. I can deploy my heroes, extra wizards, right into the core. So that was my main plan. Now, after looking at the base and trying to figure out how I was going to get about 40 buildings, because that's what it takes to 2-star at Town Hall 10 is roughly 40 buildings, I realized that there are a lot of buildings in this section. And so my plan was going to be to occupy this section of defenses. And once those defenses are occupied, I'm going to go ahead and deploy a loon because I may get lucky and that balloon may hit the archer tower or may hit the mortar if this air defense is down. And I'm going to go ahead and just spam in some archers and minions and try to pick up that extra percentage. So let's get into the attack now and see how it went. The plan that I just laid out is pretty solid, I felt. I knew that I had to place everything perfectly because when you're attacking a Town Hall 10 and you don't have max level heroes, and the Town Hall 10 has max level defenses, you really have to play everything correctly. You have to look at, everything that you're going to deploy has to be precise. So you can see the golem goes down here just to tank the defenses. The golems are down here. I've got the wizards clearing this area. I've got the wizards clearing this area. Heroes are in. And remember, we talked about in previous videos, you always want to have 5 tanking units to keep the defenses off of your queen, primarily the Inferno. The Inferno has 5 beams that will burn you down. You do not want that to happen. So in this raid, I took golems and I added several giants for that center section. And look what's happening, guys. We're at 41%. The queen is almost at full health. I have a golem still alive here, tanking for a couple archer towers. Now look at this section. I deploy a few minions, I deploy a few archers, and these guys are picking up just the extra percentage that I'm going to need as the queen dies up here. We're at 52% and 53%. So we just got enough buildings to get over 50%. There's a long ways between 50 and 53%, so we did do well on this attack. But again, it is a maxed Town Hall 10. The heroes are not maxed. But very happy with this attack, very happy with the result. And I hope going forward you guys can take the finer points in this attack and apply them to bases that you're attacking. And as I said in the beginning of the video, you're likely not going to face a base that is exactly like this, but there are some key elements that you can look for when you're planning your attack, and I hope that those attacks go well. Please subscribe, guys, if you like the video. I'm going to keep making more videos about Town Hall 10 attacks, how to approach Town Hall 10s, how to deal with Infernos, how to 3-star Town Hall 9s, and of course, how to help you build a stronger clan, one raid at a time. We'll see you on the next episode.